White people radiate insanity. White people radiate insanity to the degree that if you do not protect yourself from their radiation, you yourself will be made crazy. You will be affected by it in a way that you begin to mirror or reflect the insanity that is constantly bouncing off of you due to the influences in the media and everything else that you're influenced by within this white cultural construct, this white pseudo cultural construct. White people are insane, and a lot of black people are insane to the degree that as a black man, it is believed that I am supposed to willfully allow myself to be detained, thrown on my chest, kneeled on, handcuffed, thrown into a squad car, taken to a facility where all of my rights and privileges are revoked, and every decision in my life is made for me by other people. When I'm going to eat, when I'm going to sleep, when I'm going to shower, when I'm going to be able to get some sunlight on my face and on my back, if I have a mental or physical ailment, when I'm going to receive my medication and what type of medication I'm going to receive for my ailment. All of these things out of my hands. And as a black man, if I do not comply with this, if I do not observe these laws and these so-called rules, if I do not obey them, then there's not an issue with the construct itself. There's not an issue with the so-called law enforcement agents who want to put me in this position. It's me. I'm the problem. As a grown, fully adult black man, if I do not allow another group of men to take my freedom from me and place me in a facility where I have no control over my life, then something's wrong with me. I'm the problem. And if I do not comply with that at the moment of arrest, at the moment of being detained, then these other men are well within their right to kill me. White people have always believed they had the ability or believe they had the right to take black people into their custody. They've been doing it for a long time now. What do you think slavery was? They were taking millions of black people into their custody. And if those black people fought back, then they were killed or they were tortured or whatever the case may be. So much so to the point that they created a disease for it, a mental illness. They said that if black people did not want to be slaves, or if they tried to escape slavery, then they had 100% dyed in the wool mental disorder, mental illness, and they called it Drapetomania. Drapetomania says that, like I just stated, any black person who does not comply, who does not obey, they're being taken into custody and forced to work from sunup to sundown, having all of their freedoms taken from them. Like I said, when they eat, when they sleep, when they get some sun on their back, when they are given medicines, or when they get to when they get to interact with their families and the nature of those interactions. All of these things are decided for them by other people. And when they decide that enough is enough, I'm not going to have this anymore, I'm going to free myself and find a way to get back to free other people, well then no, they're crazy. There's nothing wrong with this construct. There's nothing wrong with the white people who created the construct. The problem is with these niggas. These niggas have a mental disorder called Drapetomania. So tell me how the fuck that philosophy is any different from then to now. Tell me how white people's philosophy has changed, or how they've advanced or progressed over time, when they're still telling black people and white people that if black people refuse to be taken into custody, if black people refuse to have their freedom taken from them, if black people refuse to have every decision in their life made by other people, then there's something wrong with them mentally. Number one, they're criminals. It's a criminal act to refuse to have your freedom taken from you. And number two, you got to be out of your fucking mind. And number three, we're going to kill you for it. White people are beyond sick. White people are beyond diseased. They really believe that their laws or their philosophy and their culture is universal. They believe that their theories and their philosophies are transcendent, meaning that they are superior to any other people's culture, any other people's philosophy, any other people's theories. And they come before any other people's theories and philosophies in culture. Therefore, the relationship between black and white is one of universal law that cannot be broken. Black people will always be subjugated by white people as long as white people are in the position to subjugate them. And that's the difference. The difference with our having to comply or being observant of their laws and their customs and their culture is keeping us in the position that we're in. We have to understand that all this talk about revolution, all this protesting going on, we're still operating within the confines of their law. We're still operating within the confines of their constitution. There's no way black people will ever overthrow white people if we are afraid to break the law. It'll never happen. Ever. There's no way you can obey criminals and overthrow their criminal construct. If you're obeying the criminal's rules, then you're playing the criminal's game the way he set it up for you to play it. And you're never going to beat the criminal at his game abiding by his rules. It's impossible. Protesting is legal. That's why protesting has never worked. You have to go and get a permit to protest. You have to go to the court and allow these people, and these people have to allow you to protest in a certain place within certain hours. And once you surpass that amount of time or leave the parameters of that space where your protest is permitted, well, now you're performing a criminal activity, and they can come in and tear gas you and shoot you in the face with rubber fucking bullets. So if you're going to, at the end of the day, if you're going to break the law to get your point across, then you might as well come to the realization that the only way we're going to overthrow these white people from having power over us is to say, fuck those laws, fuck that constitution, and we have to start to engage in extra legal activity. Okay? Nothing you can do to overthrow white people, you can do within the confines of white law, within the confines of white judiciary, legislative theory. It'll never fucking work. So grow up.